Training procedures. The training procedures must include visuals and open discussion. The visuals are what you are watching right now. Open discussion is a little bit more difficult in the way that this is currently being done, but if you have any questions at all, please feel free to text the production manager or the chief operating officer and they can help you with anything you have questions about. Anybody who works here also and has worked here for a little bit, very open to being asked questions. Even if they don't know the answer, a lot of people will direct you to the person who does. Training has to be followed by a short written quiz. A refresher course must be given annually. Typically, we do ours at the end of the year, somewhere between November and December. Each session must include a sign-in sheet that includes a printed name, signature, description of training, date, skills description, who conducted the training, and a copy of the written quiz given. Again, this is a little different being via the internet and YouTube, but essentially the training sign-in sheet for this would be you sending the managers a text so that they know that you are watching the training videos, and then when your quiz is taken and your score is given, that will be counted as part of your sign-in sheet. Nonconforming product. The purpose of this procedure is to establish a process for nonconforming product. This procedure applies to raw materials, ingredients, work in process, which is product in blue tubs, packaging, and equipment, and how each is handled. Nonconforming product is anything that falls outside of the normal look, feel, smell, taste of the product. If you question it at all, place it on hold. A couple examples of this, because I feel like examples are usually the best way to get a point across. For the cooks, this has happened more than once. You cut open into a box, there's a layer of green fuzz on top. Clearly the product is moldy, can't use it, put it on hold. That's not the only thing that you're looking for. There are other things that can happen. Foreign objects have been found in raw materials before, or just sometimes one time we got in some pecans and somebody tasted them after they cooked them and they tasted kind of dusty, and we found out they were super old pecans that got sent to us for some reason. So anything that just doesn't quite look or feel or smell or taste right is considered non-conforming. Baggers typically are looking for, at that point, what the cooks let pass through. So burnt batches that got put into a tub like it was fine, chunky product, again, foreign objects, anything like that. And the shipping team is mostly just making sure labels match the cases. It says it is what it is, things like that. Any employee may place materials on hold. So again, if you're cooking and you notice something's off with your product, you can put it on hold. You don't have to get a manager to put it on hold. However, you should notify a manager immediately. We have hold stickers. It says use the green hold stickers. We do have some that are green. We also have some that are red. Doesn't really matter, just any of the ones that say hold for inspection. Notify the production manager immediately. Once it's placed on hold, it has to be inspected by the production manager or chief operating officer and either approved or marked for disposition. If disposition is ordered, it should take place immediately. If immediate disposition is not possible, the product will be quarantined away from conforming product and clearly marked hold for disposal. Never use product that is on hold. If you're unsure, don't use it. This happens not super frequently, but it has happened before where somebody's not paying attention, there's a hold sticker on something, they use it anyway, and all their product that they spent time cooking or bagging has to get thrown away. Everything has to get sanitized. It's a big mess. So if there's a hold sticker on it, just don't use it. Always contact a manager to see if they've got it taken care of or not. Work in process is inspected at every step in the production process by the production workers. If at any point any employee questions the conformity of work in process, they should immediately place it on hold and quarantine it away from the conforming product. The production manager or general manager must check the non-conforming product and either release it or order its disposition. Equipment is checked routinely through preventative maintenance by the maintenance supervisor. If any non-conformity is discovered, it's either fixed immediately or the machine is placed out of service until a repair can be made. If any employee discovers a non-conformity at any time, they must immediately notify the maintenance supervisor or production manager. The maintenance supervisor or production manager will determine if the nonconformity poses a food safety risk and must be pulled from service immediately, or if it can remain in use until a scheduled maintenance time. Equipment that cannot be repaired will be replaced. Stock rotation procedure. First in, first out, often called FIFO. You might have heard that before if you worked at other food places. Essentially, the first thing that comes in is typically the oldest. Some places are changing the terminology to be first expired, first out. But 99% of the time, the oldest thing that you have in your building is the oldest thing that you've received. So essentially, if we get in brand new sugar and there's still 3 pallets of sugar left, you need to use up the 3 pallets of sugar that were there first. For baggers, if they get in, if they have 4 pallets of cinnamon almond to choose from to bag up, and one of them was cooked last week and one of them was cooked last night, they need to use the ones from last week first to get them bagged up and out of here. Same thing for shipping. If they're grabbing bagged product and there's a pallet from 2 weeks ago or a pallet from today, they need to use the stuff from 2 weeks ago first. All employees should use the oldest products first, including raw materials, work in process, which is blue tubs, or red tubs if it's peanuts, and finished cases. That's what I just said. I just elaborated a little bit. If a product is released from a hold, it will immediately be placed back into the rotation. Monthly checks of all expiration dates will be performed and logged by the production manager, and expired product will be disposed of, and short dated will be marked with an orange tag for immediate use. In-process work will be checked monthly and tagged for immediate use if it's over 1 week old. Finished product will be checked monthly, and anything over 1 month old will be marked for immediate use. Pre-requisite program effectiveness. All prerequisite programs will be verified for effectiveness on a monthly basis as part of the self-audit procedure. The following will be evaluated: observing employees to ensure they are meeting program requirements, random verbal quiz to ensure key training points are understood, review of Genesee County water report on an annual basis, foreign contaminant procedure, receiving procedures and raw materials validation procedures, allergen management program, and finished goods specs and risk analysis time temp. Corrective action procedure. The purpose of this procedure is to describe the responsibility for investigating and identifying the causes of problems, including a breakdown of processes related to food safety and quality. Depending on the type of problem identified, it will become the responsibility of the production manager, chief operating officer, or maintenance supervisor to investigate further. When investigating problems, root cause analysis will be used. We have a program that was designed for us, including templates and instructions on process and methodology. This type of preventative action helps to assure the continuous improvement of the system, resulting in fewer future problems since the root causes have been addressed. Corrective actions shall also be reviewed as part of the management review process. This will require special training for select employees on root cause analysis. As you get familiar with how things work around here, you'll notice that pretty much if one person makes a mistake that affects food safety, everybody has to make a change because of it, and this is why. Essentially, if anybody makes a mistake and it's something that does affect food safety, that means there was a failure in our process, because we're trying to make a foolproof process where nothing can go wrong. That's the point of the corrective action procedure, to make it to where future instances of things going wrong should get lower and lower until essentially they become zero. This is the corrective action plan flowchart. Not really a lot to go over here, so we're just gonna push through this, but this is essentially what it looks like when we make a corrective action. Sampling, inspection, and testing procedure. All production workers are responsible for preventing foreign contamination and for visually inspecting product as it is processed for any sign of foreign contamination. There will be a question on the test that asks you who is responsible for preventing foreign contamination, and the answer is everyone. Baggers check their own product hourly. They must record the date and time of their sample inspection, and they test for quality, including the weight of the product and any foreign contaminants. One sample is taken from each bagger shift daily. These are checked and logged by the production manager for quality, including weight and foreign contaminants. And Cook's product is inspected by the packaging department for quality and foreign contaminants as it is processed, and records are kept.